You know every word of the song? Like, you know it all? I think so. Would a band like
There's a place called
the hell's her name?
The Beach Boys.
Would that work today? Like a star? Like, let's say the Beach Boys didn't exist however many years ago.
No.
Would this kind of music work today?
No, because they...
Probably not.
No. I like it. It's a nice vibe.
They're too respectful of women. So they're too respectful of women in their lyrics. You know,
that's not every music artist.
There's not a lot of that. So unless they were going to be
a country fan, all they talk about is beers and trucks and girls and skinny jeans.
They're not a country. They're not a country act. They're not going to be a country act. It's the truck. It's the beer.
Yeah.
It's the girl.
Say the same stuff over and over again. All right, good Friday morning to you as we are entering the unofficial start to the summer Memorial Day weekend. Weather might not be playing along, but we have Memorial Day weekend, which means, Johnny, Monday morning, you will be checking the standings for the first time this season. John Kincaid follows a strict rule where he does not check the standings in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I have. I've stumbled onto it like 2 or 3 times, but I don't check the standings till Memorial Day. So Monday at some point, I'll check it out. We're not working, but I'll check it out.
Well, let me give you a little teaser of what we got right now without you looking. Phillies are 9.5 games back of the Atlanta Braves after they dropped 2 of 3 to the Reds. Braves have won a couple of games, so now they're 9.5 back after closing the gap to 7 just a couple days ago. I want you to make a prediction, John.
Okay.
When we come in Tuesday morning, or when you check Monday, because I don't know who the hell they're playing Monday. When you check Monday morning, will the Eagles' deficit be will the Phillies' deficit be single digits or double? It is 9.5 right now. Phils begin a 3-game series with the Guardians today. Braves are in a series with the Nationals.
It'll be no worse than it is today.
All right, so it will not be double digits.
Because you get
9.5 games right now.
Because you get Sanchez Wheeler.
Yes, you do.
So I'm gonna gamble that it will be no worse, even though the Braves still appear to be rampaging. As I hear every morning, I hear my buddy Ben Ingram doing the Braves games, and seems like they're just having a blast.
They have 3 games with the Nationals. Miles Michaelis on the mound tonight for the Nats. So bet like every Brave to hit a home run. You'll probably win enough money to cover betting all 9 batters in the order. I'm dead serious.
That's another one of your weird sports hates.
No, it's not. I don't know how he's still pitching. Like we ask, should the Phillies have the conversation about Aaron Nola? Miles Michaelis continues to get signed. Like the Phillies are trapped with the Nola contract. Teams in Major League Baseball can say no. And yet here is a guy who once again has an ERA of 6.91 and somehow pitches in Major League Baseball. They might as well have me and Connor go out there for far less money just for the dream.
Well, they don't want the ERA to be 14.
That's a good point.
That's crazy.
Hey, I once got a guy out, and he said I threw too slow. So maybe, just maybe in the major leagues, I throw too slow.
Jamie Moore will be doing that.
Christopher Sanchez, Zach Wheeler, games 1 and 2 for the Phillies. They have the pitching advantage in both of the first 2 games of the series. Game 3, I'm terrified of. Andrew Painter on the mound for the Phils against Parker Messick, who is a very talented left-handed pitcher for the Guardians.
I don't think I've ever seen him pitch.
He's 5-1 with the 2.45 ERA.
So I will,
strange arm angle.
I think I've seen highlights of him, but I don't it doesn't ring a bell that I've ever watched him pitch a game. I probably have.
He might do well against the Phillies because the Phillies can't hit. The Phillies can't hit left-handed pitching.
He might.
All right. So, do you have a problem with Uncle Vic?
With Vic Fangio?
Vic Fangio has a problem with the Phillies, John. So,
whoa. Oh, okay.
Uncle Vic, as we know, big Phillies fan, loves attending Phillies games.
He does love the Phillies.
Like that's real. Like that is real love for the Phillies.
I saw him at a Phillies game once.
Well, toward the end of the press conference, as he was getting up off the podium, somebody snuck in hey, your thoughts on the Phillies, and take a listen.
I'm down on the Phillies. Ooh. I didn't like them firing Thompson. Didn't agree with it.
He's anti-Topper firing. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't believe in Magic Mattingly, but I'm going to guess that the great coach that he is goes, those players were the ones that were really struggling, not the manager.
I wish somebody had asked him about A.J. Brown. I wish that somebody had asked Vic about A.J. I'd be interested to hear that. So, because if he does, because it seems like he's putting it on the players. So I'd be interested to hear Vic's thoughts on A.J. Brown, the player.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'd be interested to hear what Vic had to say about that because he has a lot of opinions about the Phillies.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what he has to say about his own team on the offensive side of the ball.
What are your thoughts on him not agreeing with the decision to fire Topper?
I guess Vic must have been really in the film room a lot, not watching the poor fundamentals of the Phillies. How about this? I watch Vic Fangio's defense, and one of the things that I find very, very entertaining to watch about that team and very engaging is they play fundamentally sound for the most part. Their tackling sometimes can get a little loose.
Unless it's Cooper DeJean.
But for the most part, they're a really fundamentally sound defense. He strives for that. I'm surprised that he liked Rob Thompson's managing.
Yeah, look, I think he just realizes like they're not doing anything different. He's seam head.
Vic's also said, good players make me look good.
Yeah, yes, he has. He has said that.
Well, I think any coach or manager knows that they can. You just got to but the key is you need to get the most out of the talent that you have, which obviously Rob Thompson was not as he stared off into space.
Well, can anyone get the most out of Aaron Nola?
Oh, come on.
Yesterday we talked about a little bit, like what can the organization actually do? Because you can't just say, well, you can say just straight up release, but they're not going to do that because there's 4 years left on the contract.
No, they can't do that.
Like they can't do it. And then there's talks about bullpen. I heard Ricky Bowe yesterday say, look, his first inning was really good, and then he was really bad in the second inning. So maybe he can be a guy in the bullpen that could just pitch one inning. My only thing is like, I need gas out of the pen.
What inning?
Right. Like, and are
the
we
6th or the 7th, baby?
You're going to pay that guy to pitch the 6th or the 7th?
You're paying him to lose you games anyway.
I'm not paying him in the 9th.
Connor, I wish I could argue that.
Yeah.
Can't.
I mean, right now he's a disaster. And so we reacted to it. What I always find interesting is when Jayson Stark reacts to something. And Jayson Stark, as we know, one of the best, Hall of Fame writer has been covering Major League Baseball forever, knows this Phillies team inside and out. And I'm not saying that Jayson Stark is like careful with what he says. Like he's an old school journalist. If he feels the need to say something, he'll say something. But not often do you get like a couple of weeks ago, we got him talking about Alec Boehm, saying how he's unplayable. And good for Alec Boehm. He's gotten out of it. He's got a hitting streak going for him. Good for him.
Right.
So he was asked about Aaron Nola yesterday by our friends on Unfiltered. And man, take a listen to what Jayson Stark said about the man that is getting paid a lot of money to hurt his team.
I don't know how anybody can say it's early anymore. This is something they need to figure out and fix. You know, I have a lot of numbers. There's some really scary numbers to tell Aaron Nola's story. How about leadoff hitters have a 448 on base against them? The 3-4 hitters in the other lineup are both slugging over 650 against him. With men on base, I mean, we've talked about this for years. Hitters have over 1,000 OPS against him when he's in the stretch, which is 300 points higher than when he's out of the windup. One more thing I noticed in his defense, literally, his defense is not helping him. The Phillies just do not convert enough batted balls into outs. When he's pitching, the average on balls in play is 359. That's incredible. The 4th worst in baseball. You know who's 3rd? Jesus Luzardo. You know who's 6th? Christopher Sanchez. The batting average on balls in play against all of them is 355 or worse. The league average is like 65 points lower than that. I don't know. This is a huge worry, and I think there's other stuff going on, but those are some highlights or lowlights.
You know what's another one, and I mean that's a bad one. The worst batting average of a starting pitcher with 5+ starts against his fastball.
Oh yeah, and Luzardo had that problem earlier in the year. He's obviously worked on it a little bit.
That's horrendous. Your fastball, you
well, and here's the problem.
Aaron Nola can't do that.
So Luzardo, when he had that issue, I thought he would be able to fix that fastball issue because he throws in the mid-90s, right? I know it says 98. I don't think that's real, but whatever. Nola's not blowing anyone away.
No.
Like if guys are teeing up his fastball, one of my big concerns, the takeaway the other game was that he gave up 8 hits. They weren't even home runs. It's not like guys are just like dipping and jacking, right? Like they're teeing up on this guy, and that's a problem. Like he can't get it by anybody.
No, he cannot. He cannot. He's not fooling anybody.
And it's not recent. It's been now a year and change. Like, there's not a solution here that people are going to like.
3 out of the last 4, because if you go and look, you would take, what was his ERA a couple of years? 3.57. You would take that ERA over the course of the season.
My God, yes.
The year before that was a 4.46.
I'd take that too.
No, you would take it, but what I'm saying is it was 4.46 4 seasons ago. Last season was a 6.01. Now it's a 6.04. Like, a 4.46 is bad, ultimately, for a guy that's getting paid that kind of money.
No, but we would take that.
Of course you would take it. Of course you would take it now. That's a 2-run difference.
Connor, what do you see, though, with his fastball?
The same thing you've always seen. The problem is the velocity has decreased. The movement has then also decreased. And it's the same thing that has made him visually not a great pitcher for the modern era, has now become an actuality of the issues. Is he doesn't throw hard enough to get anybody out. And he hasn't really had an out pitch that has worked consistently for him for a year and a half now. That 4.46 or whatever that year was, we can't go back to that because Aaron Nola for a long time was always that one good year, one bad year, one good year. And he was just streaky, right? But now we're at a point where he's just bad. It's a different setting now.
Yeah, no, he's cooked. I mean, that's what it is. He's cooked. Like Aaron Nola, the velocity's never come back for Aaron Nola. Like Zach Wheeler. Think about this for a second. Zach Wheeler had the thoracic outlet syndrome, had to have a rib removed. He had a blood clot in his shoulder.
Which is just crazy.
When he first got back to AAA, when he started making his rehab starts, the first day was alarming because you're like, oh, man, he's only touching 93. Like, uh-oh. Those concerns that we had because we didn't know what to think of this situation because we've never experienced before, we're going, oh, man, 93. Then the next outing was 94.
Correct.
Then it got up to 96. The really good start he had against the Boston Red Sox, he pitched really well, but he was still only, for Zach Wheeler's sake, only at 95. This last outing against Pittsburgh, he's hitting 98. Aaron Nola's not finding a resurgence in velocity. Like, he's not all of a sudden going to be hitting 94, 95 on the gun again. His 92 is 92, and it's a soft 92. And that's when he's, like, rearing back and throwing. It's low 90s after the second or third inning, man.
See, that's the scary part. That's where it's scary is you got 4 more years of this.
4?
It's terrible.
Well, you don't have 4. You have 3 at the, maybe even 2.
They brought Taijuan Walker in the last year.
They kept him going, man.
So why wouldn't Taijuan Walker had a good year last year?
No, but they kept Taijuan Walker around. There's nothing to tell me.
Respected member
and
he's of the Phillies organization.
Taijuan, look, they're going to give Aaron Nola every opportunity to get this thing figured out. And it's going to be to our detriment because nobody's going to bail them out as an organization. Nobody's going to say, yeah, we'll take Aaron. We're going to take that bad contract off your hands. It's not the NBA. Nobody's going to say, yeah, we'll take that bad contract.
No, he's here.
He's here. We're screwed.
He's here.
We're screwed.
All right. We're building the perfect beach day. You can continue to send in answers to the first question. We're not like the vote is not over. What is our leader right now? Again, building the perfect beach day. We have 4 topics for you to vote on. The first one was the best, in your opinion, boardwalk pizza or Jersey Shore pizza because like Brigantine doesn't have a boardwalk. I think you guys all understand what I'm saying. What do we got?
They used to have a castle though, which you didn't get to go to. You would have loved it.
It mysteriously burned down.
Mac and Manco's running away with it. They got 6 votes. Sam's Pizza Palace has 2. Romeo's has 2. Michelle's has 1, and 3 Brothers in Ocean City has 1.
Three Brothers
is good. No, that is solid pizza. Solid. Again, though, I don't need it on the boardwalk, but it's solid.
That's the big pie. That's the one where you can try to eat it within 30 minutes.
Correct. Those guys
for life.
I took the picture of you guys on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really impressive slice of pizza.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good.
I did 7, and I could not eat the 8th. It was really bad.
And you were doing that in high school?
Oh, yeah, man.
And you fell short because I said, that's the one I took the picture, sent it to you guys, and I said, I think Connor could give this thing a run.
No, you can give it a run. Is it
big,
dude?
It looked big.
Yeah, it's a big pie. It's basically 2 pizzas, and you're eating it in 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not going down the shore to overeat. I'm going down the shore to drink.
Yeah, exactly. To overdrink.
But you thought you could make a run at it, right?
I'd say overdrink. Probably not. Maybe in my younger days.
All right, so keep on answering. The vote's not over, even though Mac and Manco or Manco and Manco, however you want to type it out, is in the lead right now. So question 2, maybe John will participate in this one because he's anti-boardwalk.
No, I just go look at it. I'm just being honest with you. Just give you my honest answer. All
right.
Don't take it.
Best beach day activity off the beach.
Oh, okay.
Now, I have 4 options, and you can give a specific one to it if you want for extra credit.
Okay, this is good. I like this one.
The 4 options are arcade, water park, miniature golf, amusement park, rides and stuff. I know there could be some
does that include
games.
boardwalk? Are you counting the boardwalk rides as amusement park?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Maurice Pierce.
Maurice Pierce, which, by the way, you got to check out the deal of the week, man. Perfect time for a deal of the week. Maurice Pierce. Look at that, Connor. Make the summer unforgettable at Maurice Pierce. You could pay $75. So $70. Get one same-day ride and water park combo ticket for just $70. That's unlimited rides on all 3 piers and access to both water parks for a whole day. Get this deal while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com.
Do it.
/deals.
By the way, buy multiple because you're absolutely going to love it and it's going to be awesome.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Cousin Matt's pissed at you, by the way. You left off a great day's gambling for people going over to gamble.
I think a lot of people have kids, and that might make that difficult.
The 15-year-old or the 10-year-old or the 5-year-old might not be able to participate. So what would you vote? Arcade, water park, miniature golf, amusement park, and do you have a specific one?
I don't have a, it would be, for me, it would be miniature golf.
Okay.
And it would be I believe it's called the Congo golf.
Dude,
on the boardwalk where it says the gorilla is in the helicopter and and they play the Shock the Monkey.
Do you want to know that I have the exact same answer?
You're kidding me.
I love that because there's 3 different courses too.
Yes, there is. And it's bum bum bum.
And you can pay for one and then sneak on to the next one.
Well, that would not be cool, but what do you do when you get to 18 because they take the ball?
No, it's the free hole is 19.
Oh, the free hole is 19.
So you just
skip the free hole.
Yeah, man.
They don't notice you walking around?
No, dude, you think the 14-year-old that's scrolling through Instagram is noticing if I'm playing a second round of 18 at Congo Falls on Ocean City, New Jersey?
Not a lot of great security at the mini golf places.
No, dude, I think I'm fine.
I can't say that I'm pleased with your theft of service, but it's okay.
Oh, dude, everything on the Ocean City boardwalk is theft in terms of how much everything costs. So let me.
I don't think Congo golf's that expensive at all. It's great.
Let me feed back a little bit. So I too go miniature golf and specifically
same place.
Congo Falls. Oh,
that's incredible. It's a great. That's the best place.
You also get hit with a little AC in that one too. Which is
you do.
They got the fans going.
Right.
It's really hot.
They do.
Connor, of those 4,
soft. I like outside mini golf. I like the Jurassic John in Wildwood, North Wildwood.
All right,
but it's also
wait a minute. I don't know where that one is. Where is that?
It's right on 4th when you're coming onto the island.
It's right on 4th, so it's okay.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I guess it's outdoors. So
it's got like dinosaurs and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Now, to me, the outdoors at night is the winner. Like outdoors at night is great when you're getting the breeze and everything like that. During the daytime, hell no.
Yeah, at night I'm doing other activities.
We had the morning tradition, the family bike ride.
Oh, that's awesome.
Down the boardwalk and back.
I think that's one of the best traditions.
And then we'd stop at one of the mini golf places. It's why I'm only good at putting and nothing else. Is because but I need like a windmill for me to make.
By the way, you do have a good putting game.
Yeah, because it's you practice one thing for all those years. So far, miniature golf on YouTube also, like, we have not got an answer for anything else. I didn't realize.
Nothing else?
No.
Miniature golf is huge, though. There's a great one in Cape May.
Oh, I got one water park from Cliff.
There's a great one right along the main drag in Cape May that is like right in the middle of town, that is right across from the beach block. It's sort of catty corner to the arcade, which backs up to which is on the beach.
Yeah.
And there's a great one there. But other than that, I mean, you got to find a good, because there can be crappy miniature golf too.
Oh, absolutely can.
And there are some really good miniature golf spots down there. That's
By the way, if you had a second vote, because I will be honest, I was teetering between miniature golf and arcade. The arcade's great.
Not an arcade guy.
I love an arcade. And dude, I think I could be 50 years old, 60 years old,
and you'd
90
love
years
playing
old.
in the arcade.
Yeah, dude. Like the arcade, it's ding, 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 ding. It's a magical place.
I like the boardwalk games.
It's where my gambling addiction started.
See, now the whole thing of the boardwalk games, though, knowing how much they're rigged.
I mean like the actual arcade games.
Oh,
like,
no,
like
exactly.
Pinball.
No, going into like Bob's Grill at 13th. Go into Bob's Grill and play, and go into enjoy that. It'd be awesome.
I know what you're talking about with the basketball net that's slightly bent. And
sorry, you guys
no,
jumpering.
it's narrow. It's smaller.
All right. So the 4 options. Pick one to build the perfect beach day. The offshore activity. Arcade, miniature golf, which is running away with it right now. Water park or amusement park. Text them into the Davis Honda text line, 610-632-0975. All right, coming up next, we did a little Phillies this past segment because Jayson Stark told you basically Aaron Nola is completely cooked. He's burnt. He's burnt. It's not even
He's toasted.
well done. Like
he's toasty. It's
go to the trash burnt turkey on Thanksgiving. I ruined the holiday. John Kincaid is wondering if Finkel is Einhorn. Is Morey Dombrowski? It's Kincaid and Sal Tunis, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincaid and Sal Tunis, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Very solid summer choice if you are a country fan out there. I know not everybody is, but it's a good choice there, Connor. It is 7:30 on this Friday morning, the unofficial start to the summer. Enjoy your 3-day weekend. We'll be off on Monday as a show, back at it on Tuesday. And, of course, Johnny Kincaid will be checking Monday morning for the first time all season where the Phillies are at in the standings. And right now, I already told him that they're 9.5 games back of the Atlanta Braves.
You screwed it up for me. I mean, you already telling that. So please don't screw up the wild card standings for me, please.
Oh, should I tell you what they are?
No, please don't.
You're checking wild card on Memorial Day?
Yeah, because he's already told me the divisional standings, so I already don't have to worry about checking it.
All right, Eric Kratz.
It's of no inch. There's no reason to check it when I already know what it is now. He's ruined it for me.
All right, I won't tell you.
Please don't. Seriously, don't. I don't care. Like, I mean, I'll look at it and I'll look at it more. But it's not. I realize this. It doesn't matter. Because as I said, it doesn't matter. This team was 6 games under 500 on June 3rd in 2022 and 2023. It doesn't matter. That's why you don't care about standings like this until at least Memorial Day till you start to even glance at it. Let the season be done. What are we, 50 games in? 50? Yeah, 25 and 25. 50 games in. Around a third of the way through the season right now after Memorial Day, you get a good feeling as to where they are, which is perfect. So it's good.
Well, you have a question about one Dave Dombrowski. I already know my answer.
Okay.
But I saw the question. So
do you think before I give the question to the audience, when you saw the question, did you scoff?
My answer is, what have you heard me say for like 2 years now?
Okay. Oh, so you actually then are going to be more adept to this than maybe it's maybe something that Connor will be more like, maybe he'll scoff at.
We'll see.
I think it's fair to ask. We just sent a president of a basketball organization out the door because of the main status of how he left this organization and the predicament he's left them in. And that's Daryl Morey. And a team with horrible contracts that's absolutely saddled, that has no freedom to really do anything because of how he saddled them. Dave Dombrowski knew, and if he didn't know, he just doesn't pay attention. And I know that he's a man that is known for attention to detail, that there was a salary cap coming. And the Phillies and Major League Baseball Network will tell you, and others will tell you, they are in the worst position to face a salary cap, arguably in baseball, with the contracts that they've signed, as far as the players, the return on investment for those players, and everything.
And in fairness, like the Harper, Turner,
they were done years ago.
This was years ago, but JT Realmuto, like that,
terrible.
Salary cap or not,
terrible,
bad contract.
So what I would say to you is this: could you make the argument that Dave Dombrowski has done exactly to the Phillies what Daryl Morey did to the Sixers?
I've been saying that he's been living off his resume for 2.5 years, and Daryl Morey, let's face it, lived off of that James Harden trade for a long time.
And Daryl Morey,
both trades.
And Daryl Morey potentially brought you more young talent through his eye.
Yeah, we see immediacy in NBA, whereas baseball we have to wait forever, especially.
And this organization makes you wait. But that's a Dave Dombrowski decision also.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you is that could it be argued that Dave Dombrowski has done as poor a job as Daryl Morey? Because he's in a sport without a salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a top 4 payroll, as I've said to you before, you should average 93.4 wins. Over the last 10 years, the payroll the Phillies have had, you average 93.4 wins. And when the Phillies have spent that as a top 4 payroll, they haven't even averaged that. So they've even been below that. So I don't know. Has he really done that good a job?
Here's how I'll look at both teams before I look at both Pobos. Pobob, president of basketball.
What do you call
operations.
It's Pobo, right? You call him the Pobo?
Well, in baseball.
They're both Pobo.
Are they both Pobo?
Baseball and basketball.
President of basketball, yes.
Right, thank you.
See, that's why you went to that school over in
That's why
England.
you're there. They both are good enough to make the playoffs. They should make the playoffs.
Well, basketball, you better make the playoffs.
Right, but they should make the playoffs considering the amount of money that is being allocated to certain star players on each team. But they both have had similar flaws. Not similar in terms of Phillies and Sixers are similar flaws, but like the real reason why they keep getting eliminated is the same thing, right? Like the Sixers keep getting eliminated. Why? Embiid's not healthy enough. You don't have enough wing scoring. You have nothing off the bench. When Embiid goes to the bench, you don't have a good backup option. It's been the same story for 3, 4, 5 years now with the Sixers. The Phillies, bats go cold. I mean, it's been the same story for the Phillies for I'll discount the World Series. They got to the World Series. Like, good for them. NLCS, colossal failure. The Mets series, the Dodgers series. It's been the same result for 3 straight years. Untimely bad moments from your bullpen, and your offense can't save you because they go cold. And it's the same roster.
He doesn't seem to learn everything.
Yeah, so they're the same. So, yes, to me, Dombrowski, Morey, they're pretty much the same person for me at this point.
Yeah, relatively. I can nitpick the differences in the sport and the differences in the problems, but essentially the Phillies and the Sixers have been in the same spot for a while now.
Phillies, it's easier.
It's easier in baseball. Baseball's an easier thing to be.
This isn't working. Here's more money.
Give me a top 4. Give me a top 4 payroll in baseball.
Right.
You could take people. You could take people with a knowledge of baseball off the street.
Yeah.
That could do some of the things that he did.
This guy's a really good player. He's better than the player we currently have. Yeah, we're paying that guy $10 million, but let's give this guy $15. Basketball is
let's wallet whip him. We're going to wallet whip this team, and then that's what he's done. Because the other moves, I haven't seen a lot of the craftiness that he's been known for in the past. The Mick Abel trade looks good.
Yeah.
I think very good.
That was a very good trade.
Yeah.
Looks very good right now on it, I would say so.
And maybe 5 years later, the Martian one's finally working out for him. Took a while, but...
This year it looks very good.
Yeah, this one looks really good, but it's taken some time, and he's part of the reason why you've come up small in the playoffs. The Alec Boehm sagas, that's all on him.
I think the Luzardo trade's still a win, even with what he's given you this year, just what you got out of it last year.
And look, I'll give him credit for the Christopher Sanchez contract, getting ahead of that, right? Like,
yeah, I like the getting ahead of it and getting ahead of it twice.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like so there are things like, again, Daryl Morey did some nice things. They're very similar.
They're the same.
Dave Dombrowski has done some nice things, but has he done enough for them to win a championship? No.
It's the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
Now, here's the difference, the big difference. It depends how much you look at resume, but Dave Dombrowski has rings and Daryl Morey does not.
Yeah, but we're talking about their tenure in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but I'm talking just the tenure here.
I understand.
I don't care about what he did anywhere else. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, it doesn't. It should a little bit.
It doesn't bring me any happiness, joy.
But if we're comparing the two guys, and we're going to say this guy has won multiple times, and the other guy never got there.
Yeah, but we're doing only here. We're doing tenure as Phillies, tenure as Sixers. We're not talking about resumes. We're talking about what they've done for this city. Daryl Morey and Dave Dombrowski,
kind of the same.
If Daryl Morey was in a non-salary cap sport, I believe Daryl Morey would be Dave Dombrowski, if not better, because he understands talent better. He has a better eye for talent.
I don't know that that's true. I really don't know if that's true. Baseball, it's so hard to evaluate. Like, the minor league system has gotten significantly better since Dave Dombrowski has taken over.
Why?
Because Dave Dombrowski retooled
the guy.
Hold on.
Who did?
Who hired Preston Mattingly?
I understand, but who did the retooling of the minor league system? Preston Mattingly.
Hold on, because this is where we do the prospect thing. How do you know that? Like, Andrew,
you do know it.
But like Andrew Painter he's not been good so far. So
Crawford has been.
All right, and they don't even play him every day.
They refuse to play their everyday center fielder.
Getting the zone AutoZone stinks.
He's terrible.
Okay, he wasn't one of the guys.
All right.
He wasn't ever listed as one.
Okay. Aiden Miller, it's health. You can't crush him for the health. It is concerning. But like, I don't know, who's the prospect
their organization, by the people who evaluate minor league talent and funnels in organizations, their organization has taken huge leaps since Preston Mattingly took over the the minor league organization.
Okay.
And if he runs the minor leagues.
Right, but
Dave Dombrowski's his boss and hired him.
Brought him in because he believed in him. That's a Dombrowski win.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be one or the other. They could both be good.
Yeah, he's not the guy doing it, though. That's all I'm saying to you, is he's not the guy making. Preston is the guy who's going to. I'm going to give Preston the credit for it because Preston is the guy who turned it around. He's the guy who now has them rising through the ranks, who's had them improving every single year.
Bottom line is, I think they're very similar. Very similar. And you know what?
It's sad
and you
to
know
me,
what?
though.
I'm disappointed because Daryl Morey is looked at as, not just here in Philadelphia, from the NBA, Daryl Morey is looked at as some like guru, right? Dave Dombrowski is, Bob Nightingale, yeah, he's the safest guy there. Like people love Dave Dombrowski. I have been disappointed by both. Ultimately, both have been a major disappointment in terms of who they are, who they're supposed to be, what they've accomplished. They have not been that here.
So that goes to Connor's conversation earlier, that the reputation both of them walked in the door with a reputation. Dave Dombrowski walked in with rings.
Yeah.
And what they've delivered to us, they've not delivered.
No.
Yeah,
they didn't deliver.
I mean, Dave Dombrowski's team played in the World Series. Daryl Morey's team's never made it out of the second round.
Again, in a payroll where you can dumb your way into it when you spend that much money in baseball, every team wins 93 or 94 games.
Okay, so give Daryl Morey more money so that Kyle Lowry can make $7 million.
No, I'm just saying is that in baseball, when you spend that much money, you win 94 games.
All right, coming up next, I'd love for this to continue, but we have Zach Berman on coming up next. We had to move some things around. Today's headlines with Connor Thomas, normally at 7:47-ish, will be at 8:47-ish. Zach Berman from The Athletic will join us next. Sean Mannion spoke for the first time as Eagles OC. Vic Fangio spoke again. He was not even close to retiring, according to him. We'll talk to Zach Berman. Coming up next, it is Kincaid and Sal Chunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincaid and Sal Chunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's one of my favorite songs ever. All right, it's 7:46 here on Kincaid and Sal Chunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. And we will be joined momentarily. Oh, wow, is it a Zoom special? Oh, dude, I didn't know. I thought this was, the old-fashioned phone-in, Johnny. But joining us now here on Kincaid and Sal Chunas via our Zoom feed from The Athletic, one of our favorites, our man Zach Berman joins us. Zach, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Look how clear he sounds. It's just beautiful.
Last night at trivia, I met one of the Berman's friends. She came up and she said, I'm friends with Zach Berman and his wife. And so I took a little selfie and we sent it along to Zach.
That's wonderful.
He's popular. They're lovely people is how the Bermans were described.
Damn right, Zach.
And, we think he's lovely, too.
Zach, you're a lovely person. Sean Mannion was lovely, I guess, yesterday. It was a nice press conference. It was one of those, like, how much did we get out of it? So we'll ask you, how much did you get out of Sean Mannion's introductory press conference yesterday?
Well, it was a chance to see him and talk to him, right? Which we've been waiting for since late January here. And I thought he obviously didn't give you all the secrets, but he explained some of his philosophy. I think for some of the questions and concerns about the lack of experience, lack of play calling experience, and coaching experience altogether, he basically explained this is what he'd been preparing for. I mean, ever since he was 7 years old with his father on a yellow legal pad, but even while he was in the NFL as a backup quarterback, he was envisioning what he would do, calling plays. Same thing when he was with the Packers these past 2 years. So for an inexperienced coach, he's really leaning on that experience. And then you heard things that all OCs say in terms of adjusting to their personnel, having a philosophy, and then blending it in with what he's already doing. And I think that will come over time. But then the last thing, and I think this is most important, is really his endorsement of Jalen Hurts and the fact that he thinks Jalen can function within this offense and do everything that's needed in this offense. And so I think that's the relationship that's going to be most important in this development here.
When you hear him speak, can you compare and contrast to what you've heard from offensive coordinators in the past and what might be different?
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own kind of unique personality, even when you talk to them away from the podium. I think in Sean Mannion's case, what comes through is the playing experience. It's something that he touched on. It's something that he has kind of in his hip pocket, if you will. The 9 years in the NFL. That's a big part of who he is, and that's so you always kind of lean on what you've done, and what he's done is play in the league and have, whether it was Kirk Cousins or Jared Goff, Geno Smith, you go on down the list of different quarterbacks. He's certainly comfortable up there. And what I mean by that is, this is a guy who he was the franchise quarterback, if you will, at Oregon State. He was the face of the program at Oregon State. This isn't the first time he stood in front of a group of intimidating reporters like me, right? And I say that in jest if you see me on the Zoom screen here. But yeah, I mean, this is something that he's able to do, and I think he's going to be, at least on those Tuesdays, a good representative of the organization.
By the way, speaking of the Zoom screen, this is how I know Zach Berman has made it. He's got the bookshelf background, which if you ever watch any
Shefty,
ESPN show,
they'll have that.
The bookshelf background is when I know that you made it. So congratulations to you, Zach Berman. All right, so
I appreciate. I just view it as a way to promote my books. To be honest,
you're smart.
That's good though. Have them on display,
smart man. Yeah. So Zach, one of the things that we got into today about changing the offense, you mentioned it. He's going to try to blend what has worked and his own ideas. Do you believe that it's another year, same question pops up, that Sean Mannion has majority say? I know that it'll never be complete say, but majority say on what the offense is. Obviously, last year, I don't think Patullo had that. 2 years ago, it was weird. One day, Sirianni would say it's all Kellen Moore. The next day, he'd say it's my offense. Kellen Moore's running the plays. Then the next day, it was we're blending ideas. So what's Sean Mannion's, I guess, power when it comes to this Eagles offense?
Oh, I think Sean has considerable power here. I think that he's here to run a system and an offense that the Eagles were attracted to. In the examples you gave in the past, in particular Kellen Moore, I think that was the plan with Kellen. Ultimately, though, you have to coach the players on your team, and you have to do what it takes to win that Sunday. And so I go back to 2021, and when Nick Sirianni came in here, the offense in Week 10 wasn't what the offense was in Week 1, because I think they were almost running like a Phillip Rivers offense at the start of the season. And then as the season evolves, you look at your personnel and you look at your quarterback, you look at your O-line, you look at your talent, and you have to do what it takes to win that Sunday. And so, now we're talking 6 years later here. I expect Sean Mannion to bring in the concepts that appeal to Sirianni, in particular, that Shanahan-McVay tree. So they're going to be under center quite a bit. There's going to be under center play action. The running game is going to be a wide zone run. I mean, Jeff Stoutland's not here. I think that speaks volumes as far as the type of offense they're going to run. But ultimately, Jalen Hurts and the receivers and the O-line and Saquon and the backs, they're going to need to it's going to need to fit their skill set. It can't just be putting a round peg in a square hole.
Do you think that the change in offensive line coach and the change of offensive philosophy potentially could extend the life of 3 of the banged up members of this offensive line?
I don't think the change in philosophy is going to do that. I don't think the way they were playing was the reason they were banged up. I think, if anything, the lack of a playoff run last year will be advantageous to some of these guys in terms of they're going to have, a longer time to recover. And in Lane Johnson's case, he's getting older. In Landon Dickerson's case, he's got a lot of miles on his tires. Same thing. I mean, Cam Jurgens doesn't have a lot of miles on his tires, but he was coming back from injury last year. So, yeah, I think going into the year, they're going to be healthier. The question is, if we have this conversation in December, how do they withstand some of those short weeks and coming back throughout the year? But I do think this line is going to be better based on the fact that 2 guys aren't coming off surgeries. Lane Johnson is healthier going into the year, so that's going to be huge for the offense, frankly.
Zach, Vic Fangio made it clear that he was not going anywhere. I know there was a lot of talk after the season ended that he was really strongly contemplating retirement. What did you hear, obviously, before he made the decision to come back, and were you surprised by the way he spoke about his return yesterday?
To the latter part of the question, no, I was not surprised, and I'll kind of back my way into that. And the first thing I heard, this is something he was considering, and as he said, he considers it every year. But Vic is I mean, first off, as you guys know, he holds a great press conference. He's clever.
Oh, yeah.
He knows what he's doing up there, and I don't think he was going to get up there and say he was about to retire. And I think as Jason Kelce used to say too, you take that time at the end of every year. And as Fangio said, his birth certificate indicates that this is something that he needs to think about. Right. He said he's good for 2 more years at least. He says he's reverse aging. I imagine at the end of every year he'll evaluate this, but by answering the question that way, one of the things he did is he kept this from being like a retirement tour. And in December, the questions being, are you coming back? Are you coming back? And so that was a shrewd move on his behalf. And I can say that he hasn't lost his fastball either coaching or talking, right? And so as long as he wants to do this, he'll be able to do it in Philly.
There are 4 Sundays till Father's Day. You do have some books that probably dads who are Birds fans would really enjoy reading.
He can point to them right now.
Where can they get said books? Because you're always looking for something for dad. Yeah. I think a book, and then you got The Shore, a nice little book to take down the beach. What would it be?
I appreciate it. Check out Leap Year. That's my most recent one.
I love it.
September. So first Father's Day with that. It's a chance to relive the Super Bowl season, and I think it's relevant for this year too, because in that first chapter or the second chapter, you see what they did to bounce back from the 2023 season. You see some of the coaching staff changes, the offseason changes, and some of that's applicable to what they're going through now. So I appreciate you bringing it up. Make sure you check out Leap Year, available wherever books are sold.
Zach, you're the man. We appreciate the time as always. Real quick before we let you go, we are trying to build the perfect beach day. So far, the 2 topics that we have on the table, your personal answer, Boardwalk Pizza. And the second one is off the shore experience. And you have to pick between arcade, amusement park, water park, or miniature golf. What would your answers be?
So for the second part, when I was a kid, I would have said water park. Now with my kids, they would go arcade or mini golf probably. Okay. Although a water park's up there. The amusement parks have frankly changed down the shore since I was a kid. And then Boardwalk Pizza. I mean, I used to go Mac and Maco's when I was growing up. But they're all good as long as it's hot, right?
Exactly.
There's some good cheesesteaks down there too.
Zach, they're all good. Say that to John Kincaid, who's the first person in the history of the world that told me he doesn't like Boardwalk Pizza.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Come on.
You don't have to pretend. Even Amy Fadul was like, what is wrong with this guy?
Of the 100 best slices I've ever had in my life, none of them have been on a boardwalk.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I agree with that. I agree.
Yes, it's the truth. It's the surrounding.
Taste and enjoyment
it's the surrounding. If you want to tell me that it's the surroundings of being on the beach, it's awesome. But the 100 best slices I've had, none of them have been on a boardwalk.
The 100 best slices are in Philly, right?
Or anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go, buddy.
Zach, we appreciate the time, man. Keep up the great work as always. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
There is Zach Berman from The Athletic.
Great journalist backing up the point. You don't. We're just talking about the pizza quality. The best slices you've had have not been on the boardwalk.
That's delicious, man. That sea salt air.
No, that's what you know. No, that's what you're talking about. It's
part of the ingredients.
No,
dude.
It's not. It has nothing to do with it.
By the way, water park resurgence.
Really?
YouTube, after mini golf ran away with it, and now we're 1 vote shy on the YouTube/Zach Berman and us. We'll check the text line. David's on the text line.
Making a late run in this.
Yes. Also, we have to check the Dr. Avidan Appel Iron Mountain Men's Health Poll of the day because it's about how much of a different offense you'd like to see. And the results are interesting.
Uh-oh.
Interesting
in a good way?
And Sal Chunas. And we welcome in Amy Fadul next as well here on 97.5 The Fanatic.